Hey, Learn Easy Guitar Tunes here. Today it's all about this little plastic thing called a pick. I had a question as to how I hold my pick. And you know, I really had to go back and take a look exactly how I do it. So we're going to talk about how you hold it, what gives you the most control, and how you choose a pick that actually fits you. Stick around for a second. All right, gang, there has been some questions that have been posted as to how I hold my pick. And the funny thing is that there was a comment made that I hold it with 2 fingers, and I actually I was away from my guitar at the time, and I had to actually go back to a video and take a look and see exactly how I hold the pick. So I will tell you a couple different things. First of all, it depends on your hold, depends on what is comfortable for you, and your control depends on your pick that you have, and then the choice that you make will actually affect all the rest of those. All right, so if you play an electric guitar, you want a heavier pick. What I have here, I have a very light pick. And you'll be able to see down here in the description, I'll leave you a link to what my pick is and what I use. And I've used these for years. And I always make sure that I try and keep the same pick. It's not very pointed on the very top because I played it so much. And if I have to use another one, then it's got a pointed top, and I get a little upset because I've either lost my pick because it's flown off somewhere in the room, or it's inside my guitar and I didn't know it. This is what I play. I'm not going to mention it on here. I'm not going to endorse it. I'll have it down there in the comments. So how do I hold the pick? Very interestingly enough, I kind of explained it to the person who posed that question. It's a lot like if you saw 3 different people who were holding a pencil, all of them would hold it a little bit different. So it comes down to whatever you're comfortable with. So it turns out the way I hold it is just like this. I hold 2 fingers on there, and then I hold 1 on there. I've noticed that when I start doing things like I lift up my ring finger. And I think it's because I can get my pick in there and do whatever I want to do. Or if I'm doing, you'll notice that my ring finger is sticking out. But then I start doing strumming and it comes back in. It's such an unconscious thing that eventually you will get exactly what you're comfortable with down. So that's how you hold it. You may want to be holding it with just 2 fingers. I like picks that have this extra little grip on it. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it does have a little bit of a texture there. You can see all my finger dirt on there because I've used it so much. So now let's talk about how do we control our pick. So as I said before, it comes down to what the gauge is on the pick that you have. If you have a heavier gauged pick, meaning it doesn't have as much give, I have a fairly light pick, then what you're going to find is you have less control on an acoustic guitar because you do so much more strumming on an acoustic guitar than what you do on an electric guitar. Okay? Electric guitar, I'll be like, and if you notice, look where my finger went, because I wasn't having to hold it. Unconsciously, I did that. If you want to play with more control, it's the lighter pick. Now, why is that? Because when you strum with a lighter pick, that pick glides across those strings and bends with those strings. So when you play faster, it's constantly bending back and forth to be able to allow it to actually flex. If you play with a harder pick, a heavier pick, you're going to find that you have less control and probably going to see that pick go flying across the room a lot more. And it's going to be harder on your guitar too, and it's going to be harder on your strings. So I play a lot, and I play with a lighter pick. I use Elixir strings. I use a 13 gauge, which is recommended for my Taylor guitar, but I change my strings about once every 3 months, and they need to be changed right now if you're ever noticing a little bit of sound in here. So they last longer because I have a lighter pick. Now, some people who don't play as much as I do could get your strings to last about 6 months, but I play out quite a bit. All right, last thing, how do you choose what pick is right for you? You know, they're not expensive, guys, and I know that you can get them in bulk off of Amazon, or you can get them in a music store. I would say get 3 different kinds and take what I've got down here in the description Maybe take a look at that one, maybe go a little bit higher. There's even lighter ones than what I'm using. But the bottom line is that you have to find what is comfortable for you, not comfortable for me. So pick up a variety of these, and they are cheap. And I've gone through several different ones over the years. And I actually at one time was playing with a mandolin pick, which is a very small pick. I'm going to go back to hold and control real quickly here, because there's a little bit of a different thing that I do. So if I'm playing like bluegrass, I actually open up. And that's really strange to think about, but I do, because what is happening is I'm coming off the pick and actually hitting my finger to be able to give a little bit more of a organic sound. And yes, you will get a callus on the side of your finger right here. Over time, you will just figure out a way to be able to do what you need to do. For me to sit here and teach you that this is the right way to do things, it's not necessarily right. I can give you kind of some guidance on where to go, but I really want you guys to feel comfortable and grow into your instrument and find what works for you. I use Elixir 13s. You may need to do a lighter gauge because they hurt your fingers. Pretty much that answers a question on what pick I use, what you should choose, and how you should control it. Hey guys, it means the world to me that you be here and allow me to teach you how to play guitar, me to pass on my experience to you. And it's one video after another video. Keep on practicing, fight through it.